Does it work?
Does it work?
Oh, I forgot to hit the button.
You all too. That's fine. That's fine. That works.
I can also just hit the button.
Rod and I have been in an ongoing conversation involving photos and words. And something that I think about in the process of making poetry specifically is the choosing between different words and the weighing. And there's so many different directions a piece can go based on the words you choose. So today we're going to choose together.
Woo!
Okay.
Which word?
We're gonna just choose some words.
Together.
Together. Yes, together. Yes, no, thank you. Yeah. If I'm not loud enough, let me know.
You want me to just get the mic?
Is it good? Is it working?
We turn the overhead.
Yeah. Okay, well, we might not be able to see this, but that says over there, are we held together
I don't know.
by memory? Are we held together by memory or belonging? And I'm just going to choose someone, and we're going to choose. Amy, memory or belonging? Memory. Okay, let's see if I can read this. I might run back and forth. Memory is a fragile field. Like shadow, it is made up of distance. If I exist, it is as this rearrangement of you. At some point, I hope you all get to see Rod's photos because they're unbelievable. But you can see sort of like the shadows of them. Okay, myth or series of questions? Brian.
Myth.
Okay, I'm going to read from here because I won't be able to see it over there. Oh, actually, maybe I can. Okay, this is after the Persephone myth. The day the earth opened was the day I became a name. Absence made me queen among the broken shells. Oh, to be beheld as long exposure, as scattered movement made metric in a single frame. Okay, sound or image?
Sound all day.
Okay, sound all day. No memory of you speaking my name, not a home, but a series of openings, not belonging, but an arrows of erasure. Light or shadow?
Shadow.
If we are shadows, then we must exaggerate our surroundings, lie beside the darkened objects, offer them our appendages, become ordinary as evening, and the conifer reaching for its outline in the grass. Quiet for midnight. Becca. Twilight, good. I love Twilight. All fairy tales are made of twilight. They walk in the direction of midnight. Few make it there. All bodies need sleep. All bodies must return their borrowed light. Sleep, the original ending, that returns us to memory, or obscurity, or nothingness, and the dwindling of this placeholder. Thanks, everyone.
You're the first person that comes to mind. Caleb Thompson, everybody.
Feeling into specifically the Israel-Palestine fucking disaster is an understanding of why these people want to kill each other, and it comes through this feeling of wanting to be able to protect this little child whose name is Isla Francis Bellflower, and to protect his mother, Karen Celeste Bellflower. And so, in a way, this reading is dedicated in this really grave, sort of gravitational way to those people, and it's an honoring this feeling of like men who have been wrecked by our culture again and again, and their feelings aren't welcome a lot of the time. So anyway, I'm going to read this poem. One other introduction, Brian Griggs, who's holding a little talisman for me, he sent me this, you won't be able to see it very well, but it's a picture of kind of a cute girl, and it's a meme, and it reads, "It's not even cringe, it's just personal and unpolished, and you've been taught to flinch away from vulnerability which doesn't mock itself." Okay.
Caleb, real quick, is the light in your eyes bothering you?
No.
Cool.
Okay, this is a poem by Joe Clock, titled 82 Sentences, each taken from the last statement of a person executed by the state of Texas since 1984. I don't know what to say. I'm not as strong as I thought I was going to be. But I guess it only hurts for a little while. I sat in my cell many days wondering what my last words would be. I'm not going to shout, use profanity, or make idle threats. I'm not going to play a part in my own murder. No one should have to do that. Can you hear me? This here is a tragedy. They're fixing to pump my veins with a lethal drug the American Veterinary Association won't even allow to be used on dogs. I should not have to be here. I'm not a killer. I know how it looked, but I didn't do it. I didn't kill my wife. I did not kill those drug dealers. I did not murder your loved one. I am sure he died unjustly just like I am. I've done everything to prove my innocence. If I'm paying my debt to society, I'm due a rebate and a refund. Everybody has problems. I allowed the devil to rule my life. I was a kid in a grown man's world. I was sick, afraid, and looking for love in all the wrong ways. I messed up. I made poor choices, but I'm not guilty of this crime. I don't think the world will be a better or safer place without me. I hereby protest my pending execution. There are a lot of things that are not right in this world. I've had to overcome them myself. You know this ain't right. I don't know why all this happened. I just played the hand that life dealt me. I understand that you wanted this day to come. You got what you wanted. I'm sure you think this is wonderful in your eyes. If this takes the pain away, so be it. Whatever makes you all happy. I know you believe that you're going to have closure. The truth is that you're going to feel empty after tonight. A revenge death won't get you anything. Sooner or later, every one of y'all will be along behind me. You will answer to your Maker when God has found out that you executed an innocent man. I wouldn't wish this on you. I forgive all y'all. It's all part of life, like a big full plate of food for the soul. Tell everyone I got full on chicken and pork chops. I'm going to miss those pancakes and those old-time black and white shows. Sometimes it works out like this. I'd like to tell my wife that I love her and thank her for all the years of happiness. I don't want to leave you, baby. See you when you get there. To my kids, stand tall and continue to make me proud. Don't fight with
long stood nocturne ambulators in recompense for sustained inaction. Oh, how? Inaction. So say they, those diet parfait enjoyers, in birdcage to bridge to building shakers and lifters. Cause. So many paper-thin mini-brothers breathing one another's breaths. Question. Do stones secrete sleep's subtle fluids inside? Wonder. Or are they as dead as calcium, a single puzzle, an alcove from its mess-red secking a shelf? Pull the shell from the foot, not the foot from its calcareous spiral maw. In action. Now watch the stone stay dead, because always dead. May you make your love, may you make your gorgeous, because gobsmacking mouth the seashell and sing the sea, aleatory, regardless of coming out how it may. In action. Nay, not for me, for all the world and its waters to hear as they will. Mere sun shades are never lonely and tired, this entropy, until luck maddens their cracks, cracklers their metallics, tarnishes their gift of sight. In action. Too polite to beg to break, like the reverse of a face without a form. Flat entropy, flatter than a hole is hollow until those miniature polypeds, composed of mere air space between slow liquid vertical standstills previously peripheral, now pursue their ends as ends towards self-directed necessitated observance. This is cause. Us are almost absolved ripples ringing round even every unsung would-be waves, wobblesome waters before might wall typhoon endures sea. Wonder. What was unseen and invisible is now the field itself. In action. Put two unshaded silver-slicked glass backs facing forward together and watch the repetition endure. Question. Unseen? That's a meese in the beam. Love. Light loves the dark, which is why it reaches toward it at all times, for all times, through all times. Entropy, until all times are null. Love. Stelliferous, undecided, rainbowed through white, though not for those does light love itself more yet. Light enters the room, had been listening around the bend. Light. May I shine willingly unasked? I'll accept entropy. No! No, you may not! Entropy. Yes, please, my dearest, most sublime measurement of continue, whether desired or compelled. For me, no. For you.
So many birthdays! Yes!
I will not accept the song without the melody's track.
Alright, so then we all have to sing happy birthday, alright? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amy and Robin. Everybody, who's your birthday? Happy birthday to you. There we go. Yeah, everybody. So I guess I don't really know how to explain what the fuck Wordo is, but Wordo seems to be some sort of multimedia conglomeration of weirdos and who make like interesting art for each other and have these like prompted shows all the time. And I remember when me and Rodrigo first started figuring out what Wordo was, we were like, oh fuck, this is so cool. How do we get fucking indoctrinated into this weird cult? And it was like, I remember when we first started getting the emails, we were like, dude, this is so cool, we made it. And so it's really nice to kind of have this kind of Wordo unpoetry meeting, especially when I feel that whatever unpoetry has become is essentially Wordo anyways, you know what I mean? It's an extension of the same kind of mission, the extension of the same idea. So it's always happy I'm always happy to kind of have these fun little things. Jenny Holman was supposed to be here with us, but is incapacitated by some sort of, I don't know what's going on. Sickness? I was going to say viral something, but I forgot that sickness is sensitive. It's a multifaceted attack from the inside. What the good fuck happened to the video? Good fuck. It just stopped. It just stopped. What do you mean? No one cares about OneDrive. No one uses OneDrive. It was all about fucking jam. It's very nice. This guitar is broken. think that's it. The video goes on for a long time.
This would end. So I'm thinking that we'll just do it the last way. When either one of us says uncle, okay, I don't
Yes.
think either.
Yes,
So I
hardcore
think
match.
The main goal is like to try to get the other person down onto the ground
Do we need like more lights for that?
without, hurting them. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, if at any point, whatever point you feel uncomfortable, just say uncle, and it'll be over.
I think we should take a few more moments so that I can repeat it.
Absolutely. It's not that kind of party. Well, I'll just say that I didn't speak up earlier when the question was asked, does anybody not know what wordo is? But I am totally new to this. What's wordo? I've seen one wordo online. My connection is through Erin. And so I've gotten the privilege to get a little sneak peek. And I feel like I've done enough nonsense and mischief in my life to understand what the vibe. So yeah, I'll say, while I'm buying a little time here, I don't think anybody in this room would necessarily draw this connection. I really doubt that would happen. But when I heard that the prompt was unwordo, or that was the theme of the night, the first thing my mind thought about was the exhibit that's at the Nordic Museum right now with Natalie Jorberg, I think is her name. Has anybody been to see it? Okay, highly recommend. I don't think it's there for too long, but I went to that a month or so ago, and without saying too much about it, because I think it would be boring to hear me describe it, the feeling that I got being in this room with this art, and part of it involved sculpture and part of it involved claymation movies, the thing that I felt was this sensation that I felt since childhood that I have just been chasing ever since, which is it feels very connected to me to the sensation of losing all words. And it feels, I don't know, that's what I'll say about that. So, la 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 la.
Can everyone see? Should we form some sort of fighting pit?
Yeah, if you guys want to form a fighting pit, then that's fine. Oh, the other thing I'll say is that the concept for this actual thing that we're about to do literally came to me in the middle of the night. I woke up from a dream. I'd been thinking I want to do something in unwordo. I don't know what I'm going to do. I woke up. This was what came to me. So, thank you, Sally, for literally making my dream. Oh my gosh, it's worse. Okay.
Do you have any sparring tips before we start?
Rob, do you have any sparring tips for us? No. Either. Okay, cool. I think basically we're aiming to, not cut off each other's access to breathing. But yeah, basically the idea is just to get the other person, down onto the ground.
Lock the
We'll
arm.
see how far we get. Okay.
Lock the arm, sweep to your leg, existential dread.
Okay, thank you. Existential dread, yes. So I just asked that I'm gonna speak some words out loud, and then the second time I start to say them, that's when the wrestling match will begin. Okay? Okay. What can I say about the limits of words? You know, and I know, that to be unworded, you must feel. So come to your senses with me, and be reduced to, and be saved by what is. What can I say about the limits of words? You know, and I know, that to be unworded, you must feel. So come to your senses with me, and be reduced to, and be saved by. What can I say about the limits of words? You know, and I know, to be unworded. You must feel. So come to your senses with me. And be reduced to. And be saved by what is. What can I say about the limits of words? Are you okay? Yep. Thank you. I'm cold.
That's fucking great.
Also, the captions are going to be entirely blocked.
I didn't think we were gonna have to deal with captions.
Yeah, that's too high.
Somehow too high.
Oh, Play-Doh?
I feel like it'd be okay if it's too high. There's a lot of it is.
Know where the caption's at.
I could have like tried way harder to make this go off without a hitch. I didn't try as hard as I should have. Oh, great. Great, I unplugged it. Nice. Is the button on, dude? You're so tall.
Now do you need another?
Better?
I think it needs to be, yeah. There you go. So there.
Cool.
There will be good, yeah.
Perfect. I know, I've never, oh, today is not our finest hour.
So this is going to be an excerpt from a novel that I'm working on. And in this part of the novel is an account that's like embedded in the novel, and it's written by a woman named Fran, who was part of an anarchist colony in Puget, like the Kitsap Peninsula, real life place called Home. And she's writing this in the 40s about 1910 when she had an 11-year-old boy named Harold, who Eric is going to play. And the LA Times bombing and stuff just happened, which was like, there's a lot of union organizing going on in LA, and the LA Times was a very industrialist-focused newspaper, and there was a bombing there that actually killed a bunch of people, and there was a lot of people who thought it was like framed, like the unionists were immediately blamed, and like a lot of people didn't really believe that they'd caused it, but then they like were caught and confessed, and there was still a couple of their accomplices on the loose, and that's kind of the backstory of what's happening here. But the account in the novel is, so let's see. Sorry, my brain got all backwards. So Arnie, who is Caleb, who is just back from Vietnam, and he is Fran's grandson, and he's inherited her house and home, and he's also inherited her account, which has been footnoted by Harold in the 1950s, sort of like McCarthy era. And Harold is submitting it into the local historical archive, so he's like putting footnotes. So anyways, that's the backstory. So you're gonna get I'll be Fran and I'll read the account. Harold's gonna do some footnotes, and Arnie's gonna be responding in marginalia. Okay?
I'm laughing.
Does that make sense?
We look like we dressed for the parts.
Yeah, there we go.
Nailed it.
All right, so I was hanging out the laundry on a dry and windy November day when Jay Fox...
Enter the discontent, a home celebrity.
And you can steal my money.
I guess I could.
When Jay Fox comes down through that yard in that ambling, lanky way he had, "Hello, Jay," I said, a clothespin in my teeth. He leaned on the clothesline post and watched me wrestle up a sheet. Then he said, "There have been spies around. You noticed?" "Nope." I struck a neutral tone. It always seemed wise, neutrality, until one could gather whether or not a person's suspicions were warranted or just the froth of a nervous brain.
I am reminded of old Mrs. Wasserman on C Street, who was so concerned someone might be hiding behind her front door to kill her that she came and went through the back bedroom window.
Never know. Old lady could have seen some things.
"Burns men," Fox said, meaning the detective agency. "You've seen those surveyors sniffing around." "Seems like there are always surveyors," I mentioned. "Not peering into windows, not scribbling in their notebooks without measuring a damn thing."
Fox was correct. The mass war, William J. Burns' own account of the LA Times bombers. He explains the subterfuge and what can only be called small detail.
"We're expecting a house guest tomorrow," said Jay. "Decent fellow. Goes by Fritz Mahler these days. A committed man. A good man in a hard spot. He'll just be here for a little while until arrangements can be made elsewhere for him." Fox squinted at me to see if I was catching his drift, which I slowly was. "But here's the thing, the Burns men are watching my house already, clocking my trips to the shitter, no doubt. Anything I do would be conspicuous.
Detective shit clocker. Ha!
But a man coming to stay with me wouldn't strike anybody as odd." He grinned, flushed. "And that, Harold, is how a certain Fritz Mahler, more famously known as David Kaplan, came to stay at our house.
Right on, granny friend. You do what's gotta be done.
Masquerading as one of my legendary hordes of lovers, even as home was lousy with Burns men. I will say, I hardly slept those nights, though not for romantic reasons. Mr. Mahler, Kaplan, was an exceptionally decent...
This is true, however. Modern history is a study in how decent-seeming men cannot create atrocities.
Why did I let him say, when it frazzled me to feathers?
One of my mother's own expressions, I guess.
I guess 2 reasons. I I liked the thought of my free loving might be an alibi, a ruse, a cover, a political act, and I thought it was right. Harboring Kaplan was right.
Yep.
I didn't buy, no matter what anyone said before or since, that the Unionists wanted to kill the printers at the LA Times, and I believed, of course, in their cause. In all other iron workers union dynamitings, nobody was killed, and it wasn't their method to hurt people.
Righteous, destroy property, not broken people.
However it had happened, whether an accident or a frame-up by the industrialists, I didn't hold it against the unions or the McNamaras or Kaplan and Schmidt. I wasn't about to set their dynamite, but that didn't mean I didn't have their...
I struggle to my mother's defense here, as she lauds bombers who killed 20 people and injured dozens more. Certainly the cause was just, and one might even argue, as many have, the labor unions created the middle class we have today. However, the ends simply do not justify the means. I can only say in her defense that she believed in the American dream so fervently and knew firsthand from her youth the desolate human conditions caused by low open shop wages. This is why she could not see her heroes tarnished and clung to the idea that it was an accident or a frame-up, even after the page change happened. McNamara's confessed to the whole infernal scheme and named Kaplan as an accomplice. I've always believed in the justness and rightness of democracy and of the courts.
Pull the stick out, Pop!
Values I learned from my mother, and values I believe she never even in this moment put aside.
Mr. Mueller never told me what had happened, or what their plan for it all had been. He never said he was anybody but Fritz Mueller, the friend of a friend. The only thing I did learn was where he was headed next, and how I wish he'd had the discretion not to share this. How different would it all have gone then? But the night before he was to leave, we were sitting around the table, Mr. Mueller, you, and me, eating an after-dinner apple pie from the Baldwin, which was bearing well by then. "I'll miss your cooking, Mrs. Neely," said Mueller. I didn't correct his gratuitous misses. "I don't have your hand when it comes to the pastry." "Are you going to be cooking for yourself, Mr. Mueller? You ain't going to batch it, are you?" you asked, sounding like always as if you hadn't had an ounce of education. You had, but couldn't be bothered to talk like it, or talking like it bothered you, so it was all swag.
I mean, forgive me, I was 11.
"I am, batching it on Bainbridge. Has a ring," said Mueller, the German light in his voice. Oh, that he'd never said that. We did not need to know.
Holy shit, Pop! A stool pigeon?
I think, though, that he was a lonely soul, and hiding suited him badly. He wanted to be seen, loved, perhaps even applauded. But he went to the logged-out, ragged farms of Bainbridge Island, where he was to live quietly as a barber until his chickens came home with their corn.
I don't know where my mother got her idiosyncratic sayings.
Chickens came home with their corn? I still feel a sick plunging in my gut when I think of my part in his undoing, and your part, Harold, and by extension mine. I wanted to do right by the struggle and by our guest, and I wanted to have raised my boy right. I suppose right is a word we must each define.
Society has a definition too, and this is what makes our country a good country, that its people act according to the commonly held scene of what is right and good for the whole.
We do what our consciousness tells us to do, if we're lucky. And what more can we do than that? This is what I tell myself the moments I forgive you. Thank you all.
That was great. Did I hit you with the mic? I wasn't looking. No? Good. Great. Skyler Reed up next.
Thank you for coming out, everybody. I just wanted to say, we've been doing Wordo for a few years now, like mainly as a live stream. And it hit this point probably a few months ago. I felt kind of burned out on the live stream, and so it feels very fitting, like a rebirth thing that we're doing in unwordo. And unwordo, like, you know, as an opening, to be able to do something else. I kind of like this live show format. I'd like to do more of these live shows. Wordo, from the beginning, has always been like totally open invitation, no rejections. The idea was just to provide a place where we can make art and you know, consume each other's art or whatever. If you would like to join us sometime and play, just get in touch with me somehow. I know most of you. I think we'll probably gonna be doing like a bunch of live shows this year. Yeah. And we'll probably we did so many live streams, that's why there's so much video, but we don't have our shit together really with the AV, but I think in future shows, we will have like beautiful, clear video and stuff like that. So if you want to make video, you can do that. You could wrestle. You know, the requirements in the beginning was there were no rejections, but you had to like take some kind of honest risk in how you showed up in your piece. That was the idea.
Oh, cool. Well, in that case, I totally did that. Because I think for you.
Put it along?
Do you want me to?
Yeah. Take a risk. Hello, everybody. I'm Skyler from the internet. Thank you, Krasnowski. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Straw Hatted Man, who I love very much. Oh, that's great. Yeah, the dancer's fine. Let's do that. This is going to be my weird version of both Little Wing and Alice's Restaurant. Dancers hiding in corners, and along the walls dressed in costumes, vests, chocolates, paid loafers, and ballet flats flooded into the guest lesson where last night at the Lawrence, Kershaw, the Bollywood DJ, was presenting his yearly Desi mashup of the 80s Michael Jackson hit, Thriller. Sliding up next to me with her brown Alaska bowl cut oscillating like a late summer fan, we did the werewolf. We did the howl. We clapped like bloodthirsty zombies in the gay apocalypse. We shook our shoulders into the darkness at the end of the world. Later, as the intro lesson wound around the room teaching us new steps, we walked 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other. Then 2 feet side by side. Then 2 feet side by side. Then 2 arms and hands and eyes caught in the hallway closet last night at Lenora's room, between the arch of the outside row and the interior structure of pairs. Pairs of pairs. 2 feet side by side, walking 1 foot in front of the other. Later, in the hallway closet between the arches of the outside world and the interior structures of pairs. Pairs of pairs, steps and turns, 2 bodies mirroring between the sequin jackets, vampire teeth, opera masks, tutus and moo-moos, and wigs in a box. I don't know why I can't stop looking at you, Megan said last night at Lenora's room. Your eyes are just like mine, the stars in the outside sky, the brown chestnuts of indigenous minds. I walked past her and she walked past me. I walked around her, she walked around me. I took steps, she took steps, under dancing ballroom lights and into the open street. Last night at Lenora's.
Here you go.